It's Edward Roski, and I'm asking good questions. Why is SpaceX now an AI company? So, SpaceX went public as the largest IPO in history, offered around $75 billion of shares, making their valuation at launch around 1.77 trillion, which is bigger than Saudi Aramco, that's the former nationalized oil company over in Saudi, which IPO'd with a 1.7 trillion valuation back in 2019. By the close of the first day, it was worth roughly 2 trillion, a little over, and Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire, which I'm sure he's handling it with his usual restraint, definitely not jumping up and down in a t-shirt. So the stock of SpaceX now trades at more than 90 times its sales, while Nvidia, the company actually selling the picks and shovels for the whole AI boom, which is a metaphor I use way too often. Should probably start paying that metaphor royalties. Is that a thing you can do? Anyway, Nvidia trades around 23 times sales. So the market is paying a fatter premium for the spacey rocket company than for the chip company that everyone is lining up and fighting over. And analysts keep giving the same three-word reason: artificial intelligence hyperscaler. So what does that mean? Well, how do you justify an AI valuation when your main products are rockets and internet access, essentially? You build the data centers faster than anyone alive ever even thought possible. So the company's XAI division built a supercomputer called Colossus in about 4 months. Uh, Fun note, they named it Colossus after this film. I think it was Colossus, the Forbin project back in the 70s. It was about a defense supercomputer that ends up taking over the world. So interesting choice on the SpaceX part. I guess they didn't call it Skynet. Well, Jensen Huang of Nvidia said that Colossus went from first rack on the floor to training a model in 19 days against what he called a normal 4-year build. And the trick is power. So a new data center can wait up to 7 years just to connect it to the electrical grid. And SpaceX just skipped that line, ran the whole thing off its own gas turbines and a wall of Tesla batteries, because Musk also runs the battery company, which makes his supply chain wonderfully cooperative. He's like, oh, you mean someone else is in line in front of me? Let's just fix that. Now, everyone in this race has more money than they can spend, but what they can't buy is time. And SpaceX can pour concrete and switch on the power while the competition is still filling out forms and waiting years to get on the local power grid. So SpaceX built Colossus to train Grok, its own chatbot, and Grok never really drew the crowds. Well, the supercomputer ended up running well under capacity, by some arguments around 12% of capacity. So Musk went and rented it to the competition. Uh, Anthropic is the safety first lab that Musk has sparred with for years, in addition to OpenAI, because he spars with a lot of people. Anthropic now pays around $1.25 billion every month to use it. Google pays nearly $1 billion more. So the greatest AI hyperscaler is being valued more on rent checks from their rivals whose models actually caught on. Aswath Damodaran, who teaches valuation at NYU, said that the SpaceX prospectus reads like it was written by Grok. So is SpaceX the future of AI infrastructure, or is it just the most expensive landlord in history? We'll see where the stock goes from here. If you found this quick and helpful, please subscribe. But until next time, keep asking good questions.